Yes, people, and welcome back to Normski TV and the What's Going On podcast. Please hit that like button, smash that like button, subscribe and share. If you're new, as I said, we're on this still on this journey to 300 subscribers. So please, if you're there, please hit that like button and let's go for this 300 magic number. But listen, we're gonna crack on with the show. I've got Big D in the waiting room. There's a lot to talk about this evening. Concerning transfers. So we're now, the window's officially open today, transfer. From now until the 1st of September, which closes at 11 o'clock. So we're going to see what our clubs are going to be doing, whether we're going to be serious in the transfer window. Lots of talk concerning Arsenal, Man United takeover, Chelsea, Man City are going to spend again. They're gonna strengthening key areas. Can we stop this Man City side? As you can see along there, City to become the greatest team ever. And, they've just done the double treble, three Premier Leagues back to back and done the Champions League. So we've got a lot to talk about. So let me, without further ado, get Mr. Big D on. What are you saying, bro?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, all good,
man. All right. Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
All good, all good. Good to have you on the show, and we got a lot to talk about. And as you can see from the backdrop, it's that yellow and black. It's transfer time, man. It's transfer season.
Yeah.
How our teams are going to perform, and what have you got to declare during these really crazy couple of months? We've got our England team away on international duty. Whether that will affect some of the transfers, we don't know, but we will see as we push forward.
Just make it make sense, Norm. The season literally just finished, and you got them playing football already. It's just ridiculous. It's retarded.
Yeah. It is a bit mad. Don't get it.
Yeah.
It's been a long season. As for Saka, he's out on his feet. And he's going to go again. So we need to make sure that we get a decent player that's going to be, back up to him. And big up to Craig. Yeah, how you doing, brother? Yes, Craig, congratulations to Man City. And you took the thunder out of my mouth because that's what my first topic is. But before we do that, I'm just going to ask, how you doing, D? How's your weekend been, and how you enjoying the hot weather? And I know you're off to even sunnier climes, so you might want to share that. I don't know if you're going to be brave enough to do the show out there, because you're out there for a week, so I don't know. We'll see. We have to negotiate the fees.
Edit. Nah. You know what? We're taking a break. Got some annual leave, but gonna get on the fly. Heading off the coast of West Africa, so.
Okay.
Looking forward to that. The weather's been nice, but I think I was saying to you backstage that it's just messing with my sinuses now. The hay fever thing kicked in. I attempted to do the lawns, and that just mashed me up, boy. I said, nah, what is this, man? Yeah. And I think the sad thing is, I never suffered with that. When I lived in America in St. Lucia, I never had this. Maybe because we were close to the Citeh, but boy, this pollen count is through the roof right now.
Yeah.
But that's life, isn't it? That's UK living. And living in the countryside as well.
Earlier on today, I was sneezing a bit. You know what I mean? So I do suffer a little bit with it. Itchy eyes and everything. You know what I mean? Need to take that old Puritan or whatever it is.
Man. Whatever you can get, and as strong as you can get it. Some you can get over the counter, others got to be on prescription, and if they're stronger. So. But still.
But listen, we're gonna crack on with the show, because I know you got an early flight. I don't want to keep you too long, and hopefully Ez will be on with us shortly as well. So we want to motor through the show tonight. It's going to be a pretty quick one, and hopefully do it within the hour. And obviously on my list of discussion is, first of all, we want to say congrats to City, and also West Ham. two European clubs,
Yeah.
two European giants.
And well, you know what?
So,
I know. I have to say to City, welcome to the treble club, right? Because man and man got there first, so we're just letting them know that congratulations, but welcome to the club, mate.
As you do, you have on social media people trying to compare your treble with their treble as Man City.
There's just no point, Norm, is there? They're just two different areas of football.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know what?
And not only that, at the end of the day, you've got a treble. We haven't even got a European Champions League thing. So do you know what I mean? I don't know why.
I hear
what the big deal is, and it's probably the younger fans, that generation, that just wants to kind of compare because they've never seen what you guys have done and actually your route to get there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think it was a tougher route than Man City, but still Man City have done a fantastic job. Not going to lie.
Yeah, you can't knock that because you still have to be consistent. Even with the league, I think we said this, that they're always capable of going on a 12 to 14 game and running the league. Yeah. And so said, so done. Even if they have some shaky moments, they grind them wins out. And that's kudos to Pep, the mentality that he's given to these guys to stay mentally tough, even when the body may be tired. It's a very hard thing to do.
Listen, D, money does speak a lot in this, and I know people are going to say we can't compete with City because of the money and so on and so on. But I think the key factor here is Pep Guardiola. He's a different class, and I mean we was having discussions on our chat and asking who's the real GOAT, who is the GOAT, who's the best out of Alex Ferguson and Pep Guardiola. Listen, Pep in three different divisions has won the league, and obviously it's won the Champions League with Barcelona. I don't know if he did it with. I don't think he did it with. I'm trying to remember if he did it with Bayern Munich.
I'm not sure, but this is his second treble.
Yeah.
Obviously there's one in the league, but it's funny. A lot of people want to dismiss that Ferguson did the European with Aberdeen, bro.
Right.
Aberdeen.
Yeah, we had that. That chat. Yeah.
I'm not even knocking the city of Aberdeen, but when you got the dominance of Celtic and Rangers, and you go to Aberdeen and do that, then you come to Old Trafford and do the treble. And win the title 13 times.
Not only that, he was close. He was close to getting a sack. Because he didn't have a fantastic start with Man United. Only for him to go and win. I think he won the.
He won an FA Cup and his
FA Cup. That's right.
Third season.
Yeah.
The fans wanted him gone.
Yeah, and now the rest is history. 20 titles. One of the greatest managers. You know what I mean? As I said, he's done the treble. He's done 3 leagues back to back. And Pep has got a long way to catch him with regards to the Premier League titles. But the way they're motoring, you know what I mean, he won't be too far behind. But far as I'm concerned,
if you look at it as well, Norm, if Pep decides that he's going to stay another decade at City, and they continue to dominate like they've dominated, who knows?
Yeah,
but I'm not convinced he's going to go another 10 years there. Because the monkey on his back was the Champions League.
Yeah.
And now he's won it. So, we'll see. Yeah.
I mean, straight after him winning the Champions League, and what a game that was. When I say what a game, it wasn't the best game in the world because there was a lot of stop-starts and stuff like that. Yeah. And to be honest, Inter Milan did well because people were saying that, they were going to smash them and whatnot. But Inter Milan played well. The thing about Inter Milan, they just haven't got somebody with killer instinct in front of goal. Yeah. The Lukaku miss, unbelievable.
I'll tell you what, mate.
And they've got the save that was made at the last minute to even go into extra time. Yeah. You're thinking, oh my God, do you know what I mean? It is what it is. But, a goal by Rodri to make it a 1-0 win. And they're now crowned champions with now a star above their name, something that we Arsenal fans really, want. I don't know how long it's going to take before we get to those kind of levels. Yeah, I've seen that. Craig read about that today. Arsenal looking.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Adverts. And look, Chelsea don't want, because Chelsea bought him for around about 72 million. I think they want to get back what they bought for him. But
Just
when
not
you think about it,
realistic.
he's been there 3 seasons, 139 games, 15 assists, 36 goals.
It's not realistic either, because they're trying to do the same thing with us with Mount. Like they want nearly what they paid for him. Like
and I think that you've already had a bid rejected today.
Yeah, 40
million. Yeah, 40 million pound bid rejected. How far are Man United prepared to go with this? Obviously Chelsea. I think they will come somewhere in the middle. So they've rejected a 40 million bid. Chelsea are saying 80 million. There's no way. There's no way he's going to get 80 million.
Well, the thing is, though, we only have I'm led to believe we only have 120 mil in the pot because of the overspend last season. Clearly, that will change. Well, that will change to a point if the Qataris come in, because we still have to be mindful of the FFP. So we have to sell players to balance that out. So if we sell 4 players at an average of 30 mil a player, which is really ambitious at the moment, then we can do a bit more business. But if we don't offload some players, then the 120 is it. Now,
and that is a problem, because, as you say, Qatar have got the money. It's not like there's no problem. Listen, Man United have got money.
Exactly.
I'm gonna. I mean, let me just show you a little graphic here. I was just looking at the most expensive players in, and that's why I'm saying Man United. So just going back to this first of all, back to this thing from Craig. People saying that Man City treble beats Man United treble. How does that work? How can you say treble beats a treble? Makes no sense. No, and that's what we're saying is these keyboard warriors, these little youngsters don't get it. Two different eras. Some people might say that. I don't know. Was it harder to win now? Was it that you had? This season 5 subs. Back then, what was it? 3 subs.
3 subs. But not only that, Norm. If you look at, I think we looked at it with the how many what we would call scrubs Ferguson had in that squad.
Well, because you're talking about kids. You're talking about young kids. When I say young kids, that came through the academy, compared to Man City. Foden is the only one.
Yeah, so if you look at what Fergie did with that team, I mean, not be funny, Darren Fletcher, come on, man. Like, Darren Fletcher don't get in Pep's squad.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I said to my cousin the other day that Pep could field that second 11 and probably finish in the top 4.
Yeah.
No lie. And that's not even exaggerating.
Yeah.
So when you got a squad like that, you don't even get concerned about injuries, Norm. You don't. You're like, we can cope. Look at the bench. And Pep can say that pretty much every Premier League game, every Champions League game, he can say, look at the bench I've got. Look at my starting 11. That's my best 11 for this particular game. And look at my bench. Like, Ferguson could never brag about the bench. He knew that, right, I need you to go on and do a job. Do this. And they trusted Fergie so much that they went on there, like bang average players went on there and played some good football.
Yeah.
Coming out off the bench. So it's very difficult to put them in. It's like, we've done it, they've done it.
But it's all, but it's almost, but I'm just saying, the way it's going on social media, it's almost like
it's a little bit.
You guys, it's like now that Man City and the media is bigging them up and everything. You've got all the media lovey-doveys bigging them up and everything, and it's almost like Man United didn't even do a treble, or how can you compare it to this era? Do you know what I mean? I say you maybe have to look at you may have to look at what I saw more. When I say semantics, look at what players you had. Yeah. Your bench, Man City had a deeper squad now, and how many of those players in that Man United team would get into this current Man City team? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
we can sit here all night and say whatever, but you know what I mean. I think at the end of the day, you've both got a treble, and I'd love to even get my hands on just winning the Champions League, much more a treble. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
If you look at this whole AI intelligence stuff, right? If you imagine that you could literally summons up the old Man United team, and let them play
It'll
reality
be interesting,
football.
yeah.
It would be actually mad to watch, it. You know what I mean? Like
It would be. It would be.
Tactics and all that. You know what I mean? And
because
and
you know what they do when they put with
Yeah.
FIFA and all that. Can you imagine? Because they've got to just feed so much information into there and stats and stuff like that.
Right.
And then it'd be interesting to pit them up against each other. AI Man United against AI Man City, the old 1999 team. That would be interesting.
But this is the thing as well, though, Norm, as you no, we're on it now. The social media platforms are so big now. They weren't big then. Because when I listen to interviews, Andy Cole and York and all that, and they always say, imagine if social media was around when we were bossing the league. Same thing. So you're bossing the league with every avenue of social media. And like you say, the under 25s, because most of the under 25s are all City fans now, you know what I mean? And so, you know, if even my niece, I saw my niece playing football. My brother sent me a video. I said, my brother, is my niece wearing an Arsenal top? He said, yeah, bro. I said, nah, bro, you must be mad. He said, bro, listen, man, we live in London.
Yeah.
He said, we live in London. Like all the school kids are either United or Arsenal or Chelsea fans. He didn't even mention Tottenham. Sorry, Chile. But he actually said most of her teammates are either Arsenal or Chelsea fans.
Right.
So she's there. So my brother's a hardcore United fan, but his daughter is playing football in a Chelsea kit, in a Arsenal kit. Sorry. And I was like, bro. And I said, you know what? I get it. The kid. There's no point in making her being a social misfit wearing a United top in London. In that sense, in a London school. So but when I saw the video, I was looking at it good. I was doomed, when my niece is wearing an Arsenal kit. Lord of mercy, what's going on there? But I get it. When you break it down like that, even Leon was saying that it's hard to live in North London and not get bullied a little bit by the Arsenal fans. And I was like, it's true, because you live in North London, so the United fans.
I hope you did pass my message on to Jude. You know what I
mean? Come on, he's his own team. Nah, I think he's gonna stay.
Well, listen, it is what it is. But we all know that Leon, if he's watching the show, he's a secret Arsenal supporter. We all know this. But anyway, but then saying that, with what City are doing now, can they go on to be a really we can see they're a very dominating club now. Will they dominate now for the next 5-10 years? Now, if Pep is there, then that's probably the likelihood. Unless these 115 breaches pop up somewhere along the line. But listen, look, I want to congratulate what Pep has done and what the football team has done. Whatever the owners have done behind closed doors, that needs to be sorted out if it does ever get sorted out. But what the football that they're playing and for their tactics and what Pep is doing as a manager, I'd love him at my thing. I've had debates on other chats about, if Pep was to have this current Arsenal squad, we go on and win the league because we keep moaning about, it's money and it's this and it's that. At the end of the day, it comes down, as I keep saying, it comes down to mentality. We don't play Man City 38 times a year. Or what I mean? We played them twice. And if we can get a win at least one of those games and maybe a draw, you know what I mean? Good teams, Man City, will come and beat us at our ground and beat us at their ground. And that's why they can push on. But the thing is, it was in our hands, as somebody said, it was all in our hands. And the thing we couldn't do was get it over the line because we started to just literally crack under the pressure. Games that we should have won. You look at that and say 2-0 up at West Ham. You're 3-1 down at home to Southampton, relegated. How? Do you know what I mean? It's not good enough. And so, this summer is going to be absolutely massive for Arsenal. As Craig is saying, we can't be going in and compromising and buying players that are not going to be able to affect the first team. They could be good or better than the first team. We've got to go in there. Do you know what I mean? As you know, and you might have been seeing on social media, Fabrizio Romano has come out and basically said, we've hit the jackpot or whatever it is. We're ready to go with the Declan Rice deal. Then what's holding up the deal? Then let's hear it. Then let's if it's 100
I was surprised at that, Norm. I was surprised at that, and the reason why I say that, I actually think you need Caicedo more than you need Declan Rice, in my opinion.
Mm.
I just feel that Arsenal need a CDM so that Partey becomes the backup to that CDM rather than the starter.
Mm.
And so
You know,
you know what I mean. So and I don't see you getting both. I don't see you spending
no.
money and
I
getting
mean,
Rice and
we're
Caicedo.
obviously linked and heavily linked with Caicedo because we went through him in the January windows. You know,
Right? Yeah.
but they weren't prepared to let him go because obviously,
Yeah.
Brighton was sort of pushing for European honours and stuff like that, and they wanted to keep him. So for me, you know what it is. I think it's just this whole focus on Declan Rice being an English player.
Yeah.
Who's the better player out of Caicedo? And I mean, from what I've seen from Caicedo, I'd love him all day long.
Yeah. And I think we're in the same predicament to you guys, Norman, where we've been linked to both, and I'm saying I don't want to overpay for Declan Rice, regardless of him balancing our English books, as it were. You know, your homegrown players and stuff. As much as him balancing that book, I don't want to spend 100 million on him because that's 100 million out of 120 million budget on one player.
Yeah. For you
For
guys,
me, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, obviously, you guys might have more money to spend.
Well, I mean, we're hearing that
we've
got aside a 200 million pound budget.
There you go. So.
Dependent on player sales, what we will get back. So that you start talking about net spend and all of that. And then what you get from the Premier League and obviously getting into the Champions League as well. Yeah, exactly, so I think Arsenal have got money to spend. I think they will spend, but they got to spend right and spend, effectively in the transfer window and make sure that they get the right key players. Now, it looks like they're gonna go for Declan Rice. That's all the talk. It's just pretty much an agreement between the two clubs, which apparently they have come to an agreement.
Yeah, and he probably wants to stay in London as well, Norm, to be fair.
There's that as well. But then there's also talk that Man United could come in and scupper the deal. City could come in and scupper the deal. Now, that's what I'm trying to say. Edu has to do the business correct there. He can't be trying to, scrimp and scrape there. Like if it's 90 mil plus 10 million add-on, then that's what it is because it's broken out how the contract or the deal is broken down. Let's not be silly and going with a 60 million. That's not making sense.
And then Norman, you got to take into account of the upfront money.
And that's
times the installments. Because if you look at us now, Norm, we still owe 300 million in installment money,
right?
On top of the 500 million debt. I mean, come on, bro. Insanity, right?
That's why you need these Qatar guys to just come and completely clear the debt and just start wipe the slate clean and go again.
And with all that talk of selling the club, everyone just seems to put that 800 million plus like it's not there.
Apparently there was a fake tweet that came out that the sale had gone through and the share prices went up with that. Yeah, I think it was yesterday. And the share prices went up and all that business, and I only to find out that it wasn't the case, and they're still in talks. Who do you think out of Jim and Cass, who's the one likely to get it over the line? Who do you think that the Glazers will go for eventually? Because Friday was the deadline. That's all gone now. We're now into the middle of the week. So,
but it's interesting, Norm, and this whole deadline thing, because I think Jason said this in a week that if you look at them not happy with the Qatari bid, there's nothing. Every time the Qataris have bid more, Sajib hasn't done nothing. It's sat on his hands. So this tells me that these greasy glazers actually want the Qatari money, Norm.
Yeah.
So otherwise they would have just said, okay, well, allow it. He doesn't want to come up. So it's Sajim then. So we'll do this Sajim. We'll be here for another 3 years, and we'll make the rest of our money in 3 years' time. That hasn't been the case. They haven't just said, right, you know what, this guy is still not coming up to what we think we deserve for the club. So we're going to go with Sajim. So every time they've added another bid, and Sajim hasn't, I'm saying, what's going on here? Why are you still hanging about waiting for the Qataris to continue to overpay for the club? When Sajim said that that deal works best for everybody, including him, because he doesn't want he wants 51 or 52%, and they'll sit on the other 18 or 19 depending, and then Class A shares, the other 30% would be in the Class A shares that are spread along different investors. So when you look at it, and this guy's saying, right, I want all of it, and I'm going to give you over 2 billion of what the club is worth, and you're still sitting on your hands. I don't know, man. I've never seen anything like it.
We hope that we hear something this week. Let's hope that something happens this week and that, because as I say, Man City ain't waiting for nobody. Yeah, they're looking at another defender. And as Craig has said here, question here says, now that City have won the treble, do you think their next target is to win the quadruple or go the whole season unbeaten? Well, I think after the Champions League final, I think that was what Pep was saying now. You know what I mean? Because this season they missed out on the Carabao Cup. Yeah. And I wouldn't put it past them. I would not put it past them.
And that's what I said to people. Like when Pep was winning it, it was a big cup. The moment Ten Hag comes and he's in his first season, it's tin pot. I mean, like Pep been dominating that thing. He said you've got to win. Pep always says if you win it, you got to win it. Yeah. And he took it. He takes it seriously. Obviously, he rotates the squad in that competition, which is good because you got the squad to do it. But you can't be bashing it now. We've won it, and it's more about Ten Hag winning something in his first season. The social media world and the media world didn't want that norm. So now you're going to bash it and say, well, first season, third, and he wins the trophy. Relax. He's done what he's supposed to do, as in stabilize and go up rather than go backwards. Whether we've loved the football at times or not, that's another matter. But he's done what he was supposed to do, spending, because he still spent over 200 million in the summer in the end, didn't he? Because we overpaid for a few. Well, yeah, we did. We overpaid for.
I mean, I'm going to show you a list of the some of the Premier League spenders and some of the most expensive players in the Premier League. In terms of their actual fees. Timothy Cast. Listen, I don't want this guy, as I said, I don't want him nowhere near the
This is Leicester, player. Right? Leicester,
Leicester player. Belgium international, 27, 28 years old, anywhere between 15 and 20 mil. Relegated, scored 3 goals or 2 goals and 3 assists, or the other way around. I can't remember, but and I think what appeals. I think this is just a player that just is a squad player. Somebody that's going to be happy. I was listening to
squad.
A guy called squad. But the thing about
he doesn't want to play the Championship, does he?
Yeah, we're going in the Champions League, and I don't think he's good enough. All right, he did well for Atlanta because he came from Atlanta, and he had a choice to come to us, and then he ended up picking Leicester, and he done quite well for Atlanta when he was playing for them. I think he kind of took Arsenal sort of thought, this guy looks good. He would be a good right back. So back then he would have been about 25, 26 at the time when we was looking at him. And he done really well for Atlanta at Atlanta. But he ended up picking Leicester, maybe because obviously Arsenal were going through a bit of a turmoil during that period in the early part of when Arteta took over. And so we are looking at him now. He can play in a number of positions. He can play at right back. He can play at left back. He's about 6'4", 6'1". He can play at centre back. So I know Arteta likes these utility players that can sort of move around. But I just want an out-and-out right back. I want an out-and-out left back because there's a possibility that Tierney could end up going to Newcastle. In terms of the right back situation, Tommy Ashu, who's actually a centre back, but we've played him as a right back because now Ben White is playing in that position. It looks like Ben White will keep that spot. Tommy Ashu, I heard, was meant to have a knee operation. Then I'm hearing he's going to be fit for pre-season. So I don't know. We'll have to just wait and see when it comes to that. But I don't want a player that's just going to be a filler. I want top class players. We're going to be playing in the Champions League, and if we're trying to push to go to the next step, which in this case is to win the league, then we have to get better players than this in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
we can't be going for these kind of players.
There's always a thing about not having players that are nervous, where your manager will say, yeah, you're starting Champions League on Tuesday or Wednesday, and it shouldn't be a big deal. As in, you should be comfortable there, rather than, oh man, this guy comes on and gives us 5-10 minutes in the league, and now you're going to start him in the Champions League. That's probably not the players you want if you don't want to get bounced out and be back in Europa League before you blink. It's a fine balance to have a squad but have the quality at the same time. Have a deep squad with quality rather than a deep squad with some okay players. Because when you throw the okay players into those big bright lights on a Tuesday night or Wednesday night, especially in the winter months, then players are going to get found out.
And Tielemans going to Aston Villa, and is Ox
Chamberlain?
If that's the case, I didn't realise that Ox has gone. If he has gone there, then probably will do well under Emery. I mean, listen, Emery is a good manager. He's a good manager. He didn't work out for us.
He's proven that,
yeah. And it obviously hasn't worked out for Chamberlain. At Liverpool, his game time was very much limited, but only that a lot of injuries as well. Missed a lot of games through knee injuries and stuff like that. So it looks like his time is up now. And if that is the case, and he has gone to Aston Villa, and I think he will do well under there. I think he will do well under Unai Emery and Tielemans. We was linked with Tielemans, and I think even you were saying, D, you were, before he, he had his drop off, because he had a big drop off, with Leicester this season. I was like, you know what I mean?
And the thing is, you know what? It looked like for me, he just down tools now, and because he wanted to move the summer before, and he never got his move, so you just down tools. But then, if you want to move, if you want to move, like, why are you down in tools? Even in a team that's struggling, like at least you keep playing. That way, when you get your free transfer, which what he did, then you're going to go and earn some good money somewhere. Rather than now, we can say, no, a club can say, well, we're going to take you, but you just weren't that great this season, so we're not going to offer you 250k a week or whatever. I don't get why players do that to themselves, because you can clearly see that this guy stopped running, stopped.
Definitely.
It's just like, bro, you're just on the pitch. You're just existing on the pitch. It's like playing with 9.
He's obviously got a decent signing on free, because he's gone on a free, so he's going to have some decent wages as well. As I said,
but if he played well, Norm, he would have got more wages. He would have got even better wages.
True.
If he was,
we'll see how he performs under Unai Emery. But we'll see how he does perform under there.
Because Jay's asking,
Jay's asking, do you think Leicester will come straight back up?
No.
Unfortunately. No. Why is that? Why is that? Just quickly. Why do you think that is? I mean, is it?
Yeah, players. If you lose Tielemans, Maddison, and Harvey Barnes, I'm going to see them struggling to come straight back up.
So they're losing a core. They're losing a core. Set of players there.
They only lost their best goalkeeper before they got relegated, which was Schmeichel. So you lost your best goalkeeper. If you lose them 3, you're not coming straight back up. I'd be shocked.
And we know the Premier League is the Championship. It's notorious. It's like walking in quicksand, man.
Exactly.
If you don't get hold of a branch, you're going to be sucked in. And listen, Leeds were actually Leeds went down further than the Championship. Do you know what I mean? They went all the way back down to Division 1, League 1, or whatever it is, League 1.
It's easily done, Norm. When you lose your core, that is easily done in that league. Because what helps you is the parachute money. Because if they can't come straight back up, then they won't miss a beat. But it's convincing the likes of these guys, Maddison, Barnes, and these guys, to stay and we go straight back up. I think Vardy will stay down there. He's got nothing to lose, has he? He's got nothing to lose, has he, Norm? But the rest of them will feel like they are Premier League players now. And 2 of them
definitely Maddison.
If you look at Maddison, it'll say, I'm a top 6 player. You know what I mean? I want to go back up and join one of the top 6 clubs and play European football. So you lose a real guy that is creative and gives you goals in a dogfight of a league. No.
Am I just on this one, Jude Bellingham? Am I hearing that he's signed for 6 years?
6 years, Norm.
Wow. 6
years. So they're not even joking, as in to say he ain't going anywhere, and if he does, he's going to cost you a fortune.
Yeah.
So I mean, I sent a message to Kofi about
with
that.
Add-ons, I think it's 88 million, but I think by the time they do the add-ons and whatever things, I think it could go to something like 115 million pounds.
Yeah,
which is still
the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah,
with the Ballon d'Or and all this.
And Real Madrid ain't messing about. Real Madrid have realised, you know what, we've just been slapped up by Man City. That can't happen to us again.
Yeah,
these guys are competitors. And they're going to do more business. And talking about that, if Mbappe, becomes free after not extending his contract, wrote a letter to PSG. They weren't too happy at all.
Well, apparently he told them, no.
Yeah, he told them last week.
But before the letter, he told them that he was.
Okay.
Yeah, and they thought he was.
But they're talking. But they're going on as if they're only finding this out for the first time.
Nah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And
he come out and saying that he told them.
Yeah.
Because obviously he looked at the direction, and some of the direction they've gone in is down to him as well. Not being funny.
Yeah.
But then they were saying there was no need for him to do the letter, because I think the letter exposes them, doesn't it? And those Qataris as well are very proud people. So they felt that he could have just come and knock the door again rather than do that, because obviously again, Norman, social media.
Okay. Well, I mean, let's just look at Mbappe's salary for the month. Yeah, can you see that there, D?
I mean, come on, man, €6 million.
6 million euros a month, mate.
Monopoly money, bro.
Now, obviously, next season he could become a free agent because, as I said, he's not going to sign the extension, and so PSG want full dollar for him, and I think they will still sell him for with that, still selling for about what, 150, 160.
Yeah, they're about.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think, okay, Premier Leagues like Chelsea are inquiring about him, and I think all clubs should inquire. I'm not saying that we're going to get him. I mean, Man United.
Yeah.
If you get the Qataris, that could be a statement signing for you guys, and then it's Mbappe, Man United against Haaland, Man City. Can you imagine that, man? Battle.
and apparently they're very good friends as well, Norm.
Oh, right.
So,
okay.
So that competitive edge is even bigger if he came to the Premier League, knowing that, listen, man, I'm getting that golden boot this season. I'm out doing my mate. You know what I mean? So it would be interesting if he came here. Listen, nothing. Like, if you look at the way the league's going and the profile of the league, adding another player like that into our league is just like, the league is reaching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As much as you see what they're trying to do, in Saudi with the retired bad boy players, just dragging them all in over there. If we're getting the current players saying, actually, I'm going to the Premier League, even though I'm going to have some cold Monday nights somewhere up north or wherever, then that just elevates the league to a next level, saying we got these mans in our league.
Yeah, but we need to look at that list there. And this is in for PSG. So this is the PSG players.
Yeah.
This is not, and this is PSG players. So Mbappe on 6 million euros a month, 3.6 million for Neymar.
Yeah.
Messi on 3.3 million. He's landed on his feet going to into Miami because he's going to get shirt. He's going to get shirt sales as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's
just crazy. A win, isn't it? Just a win. That's
win. I mean, as I say, with what's happening with the Qataris, trying to take over the world of football, and maybe it's enough. I was reading this article with regards to Nicolas Pepe. Now, Nicolas Pepe, we bought him for 72 mil. So let me come out of here. So as you can see, these guys are earning some good money. Now it's whether, like the lights, if you get the Qatari, you could afford this. You know what I mean? But do you want to be? He's 24 years old. Would you? Boy, that's like £1 million a month. It's crazy, man. Crazy. But let me let me go back to which one is it? It's I think it's not that one. It's not that one. It's let me find it. Is it that one?
The most expensive Premier League signings.
Yeah. So yeah. Let me go to that. I mean, yeah. Let's go to this one. As you can see, I hope you guys can see it on this. Yes, Junior, what you saying, mate?
Yes, Junior, big up yourself, bro.
Yeah, Jack. So at the moment, yeah. So Jack Grealish, 100 million. But D, you guys, man, are occupying this space, mate.
Look at it.
You got Jadon Sancho, 73 million, 2021. Romelu Lukaku, 2017, 78 mil, I think that is.
No,
Harry Maguire, 80
yes.
mil, 2019. Anthony, 82 mil, 2022. You could have got this guy for about 40-something mil, yeah?
Yep.
Paul Pogba, 90 mil. At that time, was one of the, like a British record signing Paul Pogba for 90 mil. That didn't work out. So you've got a number of players here. Harry Maguire.
And that was in 2021.
These players have not worked out for you.
Nah.
Yeah, the only one I would say, and at the moment, you know, I don't know what you feel about Anthony. You know, a man that was on 20 grand when he was with Ajax to now be on a wage of 200,000 a week. Crazy jump there, mate. It's unbelievable.
If you look at Pogba, Pogba won the most, didn't he? And the Mourinho. So out of them, look, and he never won, and he didn't win the league or the Champions League, if I'm correct in saying that. He won the Europa and the FA Cup.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone else, obviously Harry off the bench lifted one with I mean,
we spent 72 mil. That was our record signing, Nicolas Pepe, 72 mil, and I think we're still paying the installment still on him. Yeah. And it's gonna you know, it doesn't look like he's gonna have any room when he comes back, you know, be integrated back into the Arsenal side. You know, he was on loan to Nice. I think the second half of the season, he only played three games. 3 games with 19 games left. He only played 3 games. So, you know, he hasn't had a fantastic season out there, and he ain't going to be integrated back into this Arsenal side, but we're not going to get that kind of money for him, 72 mil. Now, the only hope, D, is where the way Qataris are going on, trying to build that league out there, maybe there's a chance that we could probably offer him.
Offload him,
I mean, we won't get 72 mil.
No, it's profile though, isn't it, Norm, as well?
Yeah, I think he's got, is it a year or 2 years left on his contract? I can't remember. If somebody want to put that in the chat, Craig, if you know.
If you look at that list, Norm, it's only Jack Grealish that is winning right now. If you look at that list, obviously he's the most expensive, 100 mil.
But as you can see, D, from here, Man United do spend.
Yeah, and there's never been a problem with spending. My problem has always been with overspending. Like, they're not worth that. Same with the Jadon thing. I was like, Jadon is 50 mil. It's coming from the German league. Why are we in the 73 mil for Jadon Sancho? As you highlighted with Anthony, we could have got him at the start of the window for 42 and ended up doubling that at the end of the window. So to 82. So it's like you're clouding yourself. These guys they're not good businessmen, even though they're great at commercial. When it comes to football dealings, they're not good. They're not good. And you know, the guy that was with Fergie most of the time, and even under Fergie, I think we overpaid, and that was down to just being Man United rather than the actual market. It's Man United, so every time United look for a player, it's another 15, 20 million on top of the real asking price. And this is why Chelsea are trying to punk us with Mason Mount. They know Mason Mount is a 40, 45 million max player. They want 80 for him because it's Man United. So for me, I'm just like, don't pay it, and then let them be stuck with him, because no one in their right mind is giving them 80 million for him.
Yeah, and I hope Arsenal won't be silly enough to do that with Havertz. You know, just 72 mil. Yeah. I think they're asking round about that 72, 75 mil. They want to obviously get back the money that they paid for him, but then they're saying on the other hand they want to keep him. So even if, you know,
For me, keep him there. No, it's not realistic.
Exactly. Well, it's not. That's what I'm trying to say, because they have got so much players to get rid of. It's unbelievable. Do you know what I'm saying?
And this is what they're forgetting, though.
Plus, they're linked with new players coming in. So, do you know what I mean? So, Caicedo,
they have to balance their books.
Yeah,
they have to balance their books. So for me, it's like you got to trim your squad. You're digging your heels in. It makes no sense.
Yeah,
like you're not in the driving seat on this deal if you have to let these players go. Same as Kai Havertz. You can't be asking top draw for him when you know you have to get rid.
Yeah,
Lukaku's coming back, right?
What's going to happen there?
Right now, my guy might decide that actually no, I want to keep Lukaku. I think I can use him. But if you don't want to keep him, you're going to try and get rid of Lukaku as well.
Yeah,
and I think there's a delusional behaviour, like they don't have to get rid of these players. We'll keep them all then and see how that works out for you. It don't work out for you.
Yeah, yeah.
So the whole greed thing, I hope we just dig our heels in. I hope you guys do the same thing, Dom. Dig your heels in and say, right, that's the offer because you got to get rid. Take it or leave it. And we'll move on.
I'm just wondering why we want to go for Kai Havertz. I don't know why, because I know he plays as that kind of. He was like when he was playing for Chelsea, he was kind of like this floating number 10, or you didn't know where he was playing. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it wasn't quite out and out strikerish, but he was kind of
but
there or thereabouts, weren't he?
Yeah, it might be that Arsenal are looking for a different profile of player. When I say profile of player, because up front, apart from Martinelli, he's. Let me just bring in Ez here. Yes, Ez. Yes, Ez. What are you saying, brother?
Yes,
good, man. You're good. We're just not too bad. I hope you're well and you're enjoying the summer and enjoying the sunshine down in sunny Kent.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And it's good to have you on. And we were just discussing your club.
Good timing.
Yeah, good timing. Good timing. And we're just trying to understand like you're flogging Kai Havertz as well, or want to flog Kai Havertz, and Arsenal for whatever mad reason.
God is good. God is good.
What? But there's no way I am paying 70+ mil for this guy. There's no way.
Norms, for you, my friend, 65 and add-ons, no problem. No problem.
Bro.
Kind of deal there.
This man is coming like we read that coming to the talk. Listen, bro, behave yourself, yeah. Behave yourself. And then obviously the situation is that you've just today rejected a 40 million bid from Man U because you're looking.
They're out of order. Your man, them are out of order.
Yo, I just said to Normski that you man have to sell to balance them books, bro. You cannot be going for premium because this is my thing. Like we got to take a hit on Harry. If Harry goes, we're taking a huge hit. If Jaden goes, we've got to take a hit on Jaden as well. I think the club's got to be more realistic to know that if you want to compete in the transfer market and have any chance of catching City, then some players that are weighing you down, you're gonna have to let them go for nowhere near what you splash for them, and it's hard to take.
100%. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. These are where you see all them men that are on the board that are waiting for the transfer season to come around for them to earn their money. This is where they earn their money because they're really good at their jobs. This is where they're gonna prove it. You know what I mean? Yeah, to a degree, you're right, D, but they can't show their hand either. So they kind of have to set the precedent that suggests that they're not just going to sell at any price, or they need to show some resistance. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I totally agree. Man United know this, so they're going to come in with their low balls. Naturally, they know we're going to reject it, but it's still not going to be the 80 million that we're asking for. So, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. And the thing is, like you guys, we've got to shed some weight on.
Yeah.
So that the financial play, because like I said to Norman earlier, we've only got 120 because of how we overspent last season, and there's no Glazer money. So we have to. If now I'm hearing that Harry's digging his heels in, so that tells you his ambition. Because I know for fact, right, without even knowing that Southgate has told him, bro, you got to be starting next season somewhere. Otherwise, I cannot pick you. I can't justify it anymore. And Ten Hag's already told him, bro, you're going to be number 4 behind Lindelof. And if Kim Min-jae comes in, you're going to be number 5 behind Lindelof. You're not getting in the England squad, bro. Take the move. But you know what? It's the whole thing.
Where's Chile when you want him? Yeah,
right. Yeah, but you know what? He's still telling people that he's Man United captain. He bigs up his chest on. You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, you know you barely played, right? Out of courtesy, he's telling you, yeah, go up there with Bruno and lift it with Bruno. Yeah, go and lift that cup with Bruno, because after all, you are the club captain. But if he really respected him, he would have just stripped it off him and took that whole pressure off him. Because now you've got the pressure of being the club captain, sat on the bench and watching your boys perform week in, week out, while you get 5 and 10 minute cameos here and there. Like, if you're realistic about your football career, you get the heck out of there. That's what you do. And you take a pay cut if that was what it means as well. That way you go somewhere, you start, Southgate picks you because he loves you. You always love child, so you're getting picked. And you move on. But he's so arrogant. So figure it out. If you're digging his heels in, stay digging your heels in, bro, as number 5th choice centre-back, getting picked for England. I just think that the media will just come on this Southgate like a ton of brakes to say, you have to stop picking this guy. He cannot get a look in at his club. But nah, man.
So what's okay? So what's the plan for Chelsea this season?
It's sell first.
Just going forward. I mean, what is Chelsea's strategy for this season? And I suppose the next question I will ask is, I know you said in the chat that you're going to assess Poch game by game, and then you will make your decision after X amount of games. That's first of all, just quickly deal with. I know Dee's got to go soon on, and I've got to go in about the next 10 minutes as well. So we just want to try and wrap this up as quick. So I just want to understand how your strategy for the summer. What Chelsea's strategy? Who you're linked with? Whether these deals will get over the line? Will you get rid of the amount of players that you're looking at? There's a massive hole for all that you have to do with your club, and how will Poch fare this season, and where do you think you'll end up?
I think it's definitely sell first before we buy.
Right.
As much as we're interested in, as you know, Caicedo, and there's a couple of other players, we're having the conversations to tee it up so that when the bid comes in, there's no wasted time. But we're not buying first. we're not buying first. You know, so Chelsea got to sell everyone. We got a long list of sales though. We got Loftus-Cheek to go. Koulibaly has been told he's not part of Poch's plans. Both Kepa and Mendy are on the shop window.
Well, again, I was reading. I went onto your, to see what was happening with the Chelsea transfer news, and there's talk that Poch might keep Kepa.
Yeah, no, they have to do that as well. Once again, they can't sell both keepers because they lose leverage. So if he says that he's prepared to use Kepa as his first keeper, that allows us to go negotiate for. Come on, we know Kepa's passed his trial to become first keeper.
But
you know what I mean?
I mean, when Mendy came in, he was a breath of fresh air. Not gonna lie,
he was,
and then
I don't know what's happened to him.
Yeah,
so,
Will you take another chance on him with Poch?
I've seen enough personally. When you've got a goalkeeper sitting on the bench that long, when they come in, they've got to do something to say to the gaffer, why have you had me on the bench? Mendy came off the bench the other day and got his first start against Nottingham Forest, and he made horrific mistakes in that match. You know what I mean? Horrific mistakes in that match, and he's been sitting on the bench for 2 months, 3 months. And he put nothing in the air to say that what you've got me on the bench for. Yeah. Something's happened mentally with him. Also, and you may not know this, but he rejected a new contract a couple of months ago.
Oh wow! Okay.
So he wants the same money as De Gea. Is he mad?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that upsets the whole apple cart if you put him on that money, because then you can't do nothing after that. You know.
He can't be holding bench on fringe of 75k a week.
No.
Well, look at Sancho, classic example. Free and what sort of money? What sort of money are you going to get for him as well? I mean, because I'm hearing that Sancho,
not even half known. I think if we let him go, he's going to go for around 40-45 mil known. Only because he's an England international when Southgate eventually starts picking him again, and that might not even be the case because players are coming up behind him, you know what I mean? That will leapfrog him. If you look at it now, Garnacho has already leapfrogged, in my opinion, at Old Trafford.
Wow.
Just from what he's given us off the bench.
Yeah.
Now the kid's still young, so I'm not trying to big him up, but I'm saying, Jaden, I need that plus some from you every game. And I'm not talking about even scoring, Norm. Getting the assists, being creative. Show that you can press when we need you to press. Trap back and help your win-back defender out, or whatever you want to call him nowadays. Like, he's just in no man's land with us at the moment on $350 a week. It's insane.
It is. It is. I mean, as I said, we was looking at Kylian Mbappe, looking at his wage, €6 million a month.
€6 million a month, €6 million.
I mean, is Mbappe something that interests you, Chelsea guys?
Don't get Todd started. Todd will start going to talk to the board.
Exactly.
Because he's a maverick. He's a maverick. You know these Americans, man. He's one of them guys. He needs to come and announce him with a beer in his hand and talk about look what we've done. You know what I mean? Talking about soccer. You know what I mean? That's exactly what he wants to do. I can see it already. It's in the script. I've seen the script. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I think that he'll probably end up at Real Madrid. I think. Yeah.
If they can find the money.
Yeah.
And exactly, Norm, Real Madrid, like us, our teams would have to offload a lot of players to justify that spend. Like Norman said earlier, is that you can probably looking at about 160 mil. You know what I'm saying? To justify that 160 mil that wasn't in your transfer budget initially, you got to offload 7-8 players.
So Ed, to get round, because 600 mil in 2 transfer windows. Yeah. Surely FFP does now apply.
Well, this is where I said, listen to the car boot sale. I've literally just jotted down some names, Okay. Everyone listening. Pulisic on the market. Hudson-Odoi on the market. You got Loftus-Cheek on the market. Koulibaly's going back out the door. Aubameyang's going out the door. Lukaku in his Champions League final performance is going out the door. Gallagher is on the market. Mount is on the market. Havertz is on the market. Kante is going on a free and he's on 300 grand a week. So the money is coming back on the books. Kovacic has agreed terms with City and that's going to be 40 million.
Oh, yes. I forgot about Kovacic. Yeah.
I'm saying, so that's 12.
What's that, 12 man?
12 man.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's about 250, 300 million in somewhere abouts just there.
Yeah. And ask your question though, Ez. Can you do this in one window?
For the right price, everyone's for sale. And I feel like do you think you could get rid of these 12 players this summer? A good 70% of them will go. 70% of them will go. And that's why we've been quiet already on transfers, because they're working on these. I forgot Chalobah as well. So that's 13 man. That's a lot of business going out.
Yeah, that's a lot of business going out. Yeah.
That will balance the book. We apparently only need about 60 million to settle the book, to balance the books.
Yeah, because I remember we had this discussion.
Yes, about how it all works.
And it did make sense. So even though you had this massive £600 million spend
because of these long contracts.
We only spread over the thing, so that's how they get around. That's how they get around it, which is absolutely crazy. But
also, Todd is quite smart. He's actually put in a case to the UEFA that buying the club and getting rid of a lot of its debt, technically, this financial year shouldn't count. That's why he's done so much business.
Right.
Because
if they've done their due diligence, then there should be a problem.
Exempt. Then they may be exempt from this whole FFP period of the last 12 months.
Wow.
That's what. So that kind of explains the madness why they tried to jam it in rather than doing it over a few windows. They've tried to do it in because they knew they could go. Look, there's an unknown scenario. The club had to sell. It's never happened in football history where the clubs had to sell due to a sanction or you know what I mean.
And then the flip side is with if you get the Qatari, your worry is that you're going to have to sell at least £120 million worth of players.
Probably more than that.
Because you've got that £500 million debt. Yeah. And then you said also...
And then we have 300 mil in transfer payments, Owen. So that takes us above the 800 million that debt without the whole what is the club worth, what they're going to buy for. So they're saying that the window is only 120 for that window.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unless we offload Harry, Jaden, if that's what they're looking to do. Because they're saying that Ten Hag lost patience with Jaden. Because I think I said it last week, you can't protect him that much, give him all that time off, send him to your people to take care of this kid, and then you didn't even throw him back in. You eased him back in, and they ain't performing. That don't make no sense. Yeah. It's like, bro, it'd be like, Jaden, tell me what you want, because I've just done this for you, and I'm not seeing the love coming back, bro. I know you ain't gonna talk like that. That's how we're talking. You know what I mean? There's no love coming back right now. It's like, brother, I love you.
In a nutshell, then, I suppose the question I want to ask you: this summer window, with the selling of players and the buying of players, how do you think that your club will perform? Have you got any faith in them? I'll go to Ez first, because I think he's really done the maths and everything. So I think he's come to the table and he said, bro, here's the statements.
I mean, it's true. I personally think we'll have a good summer. I think what these men were doing in January, buying Enzo for 100-something million, and if they're doing that in January, and at the end of the window, the board, what did Bowley said something like, we're not done yet. I still haven't made that marquee signing yet.
Yeah.
I mean, he wants to make a statement signing. So I reckon, he's going to want to do that. So I think as long as we assess them areas, we need centre mids, we need a striker. Please God,
I think for you, the striker is absolutely key.
And Pochettino was demanding that, and that's why them talks took so long. So if Poch is confident, I think I've got. I mean, we'll assess it each week. But at the moment, it's promising.
Okay, for you, Big D.
Yeah, well, Norm, where we're stranded is on the club sale.
Yeah,
and I think nothing happens until the club gets sold. So I think already the window's open, and these guys have still got us sailing in the wind, literally with no direction. I think they've already shafted the window by not getting the club sold before the FA Cup. And then I was hearing they were waiting for the FA Cup, because if we had beaten City, then the windfall from that, they're taking that with them. It's a whole greed thing that is like, because you have to remember, they don't care for the club. They've showed us that. Even though they spent money on debt. They said, oh yeah, buy him. And then you see what we're left with debt. Because, you know what I mean, to be 800 million in debt when the club was debt free, and now you're selling the club 18 years later, 800 plus million in debt, it tells you that you don't really love the club. You just found a way to manipulate the club and its earnings to make yourself very rich in dividends. So the mere fact that we're still here, green and gold, until the club is sold in my background, tells you everything you need to know about our window. Right now, it's dead now. It's dead.
And this is it's almost like Groundhog Day again.
Yeah, it's
for
mad,
you, and it could be Groundhog Day for us. Now, all right, we got Jesus and we got Zinchenko through the door and so on and so on, but I still don't think we've got that marquee signing. That marquee signing could be Declan Rice. Now, we've been told, and there's a lot of spin when it comes to Arsenal and more Arsenal and Man U, because we're linked with everybody. Yeah, we're close to doing a deal. We're doing this. We've agreed this, and then one publication is saying one thing, and another publication is saying we're far apart on the thing. And now I don't want to have another Mudryk situation.
No.
Yeah, and Chelsea just comes in and goes, because I don't want Arsenal going in. And Edu is the key person here. He's got to stop. We have to be serious. We have to go into this market with conviction, as Craig said earlier on in the chat. Yeah. We've got to go in the market with conviction and say, right, okay. So Declan Rice, 100 mil. Okay, what we're going to do? Okay, we'll give you 90 and then 10 million add-on. Not 60 and then you're trying to do little payment schemes and whatnot. I don't want to hear that, because
it's bizarre though, isn't it? The Declan Rice thing. I think you should have had that wrapped up early. Done. Next, who's next? Do you know what I mean?
And that's it. Yesterday, it was all over social media. Yeah, it's pretty much done. But I'm still hearing that they still haven't. The two clubs haven't come and spoke together. So who's spinning this? Who's pushing this narrative out there?
His agent.
Yeah, there is. Don't get me wrong. There is a different modern way of doing business these days, and with the way Arsenal like to do things is to to basically have everything paperwork work right with the player.
Yep.
And then use an intermediary to go and do the rest with the club. Here's the package. Therefore, as soon as the deal is agreed with the club, the paperwork with the players already done, so there's no delay.
Yeah. So
and that works really well.
You will always hear that personal terms.
Yes,
that's the thing, you hear that all the time.
That's
personal
right.
terms agreed.
You guys love that. That's how you do your thing.
That's how we roll. Yeah,
that's how you got both Jesus.
Personal terms was agreed with Modric.
Yes.
What happened?
Yeah, exactly. But you've done that with Jesus and you've done that with Zinchenko, and that was quite quick business, to be fair.
Yeah.
However, with this whole West Ham thing, they're very slow with getting that bid bit done. Yeah. And that's what happened with Modric. Of course, Modric was flirting with you guys because you've done all the work. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's the flaw in that technique. Yeah. That is the flaw in that technique. But the good side is that Declan Rice told Bayern Munich no. Because he's been waiting for you guys to get your ducks in the line. Yeah. He said, fair enough, I've got a gentleman's agreement with Arsenal. They're telling me they're doing everything. And therefore, Mr. Tuchel, as it stands, no. Right. So
and this where, and Ezen, this where Arsenal got to come through now, because if Arsenal don't come through and he's already told his man no, you're leaving this brother hanging. But then you have to remember that the vultures will be there. The vultures that still want
that's what I'm trying to say. They'll be standing there waiting.
So okay, then you know what? Let's do a thing and convince him to go up north, because I think all the northern clubs will take him, including City. I think they all will.
Oh, everyone.
Well, listen.
Don't forget, Newcastle can still sneak in for us because they're in Champions League now.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's appealing.
Well, my hope and prayer as I come to the conclusion of this stream is that Arsenal get their act right, and the targets that we have gone for, as I say, get this over the window, over the thing, and let's go for our next targets. Because once you got that main target in, you can now start thinking about all the other targets that you're now looking at. You could maybe start looking at Caicedo and saying, right, okay, we've got the money for that. But once you're there trying to negotiate and doing all little stupid things, meanwhile the transfer window is marching on, and you've got clubs doing their business and getting everything sorted out. So I really want Arsenal to really, go in seriously and stop messing about. You know what I mean? We're notorious for that, and we need to get that out of our DNA quick. You know what I mean? We've come to the big boy table now. We're in the Champions League, and we need to be getting proper Champions League players in that will, make us compete in all fronts, all four fronts. Do you know what I mean? City, they're already linked with a new defender from Leipzig. They get him. They're going again. They want to go further. They want to do the quadruple. They want to go and do the four-peat now. You know what I mean? And so all our clubs here, need to. I know Chelsea will do it because that's Todd Bowley. It's about Man United and Arsenal especially need to stop this juggernaut, because if not, they're gonna dominate for a very long time.
And don't forget, they've done no business yet.
They haven't. But people, listen, really want to thank everybody. I know this one was a bit of a quick show and stuff like that, but we will continue to monitor the transfer dealings over the week. Obviously, we will be putting our own little chats and stuff like that ready for next week, and hopefully we'll be announcing that Declan Rice is signed. Big D Qatar, and that Chelsea have gone bankrupt.
That's what you hope.
That's what I hope. But listen, people, thank you again. Please hit that like button, subscribe and share if you're new. Thank you to everybody in the chat that has contributed to this show. And we go again next week. Big D, enjoy the sunshine. You're away for a week. I hope you have a fantastic time. I don't know if you're gonna join us from out there, but bung us a message.
I'm bringing the tablet, so
okay. So hopefully you'll do it with a nice background behind you. But listen, people,
we'll see.
Thank you very much. Take care, and we will see you on the next Going On or What's Going On podcast. Take care and God bless.